Hello, healthcare warriors. I need to ask you about something very serious today. Do you ever get a feeling of dread the night before you go back to work? Do you ever get that feeling in the pit of your stomach? You know, that feeling that your insides are all knotted up? Usually comes after you've been off for a couple of days, maybe a weekend, where you're just really dreading what's going to happen at work this week. You know that feeling? Yeah. Sometimes your muscles get all knotted up, especially in your shoulders and the back of your neck. And you may end up with a really bad tension headache, one that keeps you up all night. Or it may just be worrying about work that keeps you up all night. You or someone you know may get sick to your stomach and actually have nausea and vomiting. These are some of the physical manifestations of stress that we see in burnout and depression, and even in people who are headed towards suicidal ideation. And I think we need to talk about it. I used to think that this only happened in extreme cases. Many, many years ago, I worked with a doctor who was just a couple of years younger than I was, and he used to get physically ill every night that he was on call. And I thought that was an extreme case. And, I know our call nights there were kind of high acuity, but a few years later, those call nights were one of the reasons that I left that clinic. I wasn't getting physically sick to my stomach, but it got so bad that I couldn't sleep the night before or the night of call. And I couldn't see going on and working like that for another 10, 15, or 20 years. I know a lot of physicians that are connections on social media, a lot of physicians, a lot of nurses, a lot of nurse practitioners, and other people in healthcare who are connected to me on a number of social media venues. And I can open social media, particularly Twitter, I can talk, particularly Twitter, any week and find them posting about this. And usually the conversation goes something like this. They'll say, "It's Friday night and I can't enjoy my weekend. I can't enjoy my weekend off." Usually it would start Sunday night with just some nausea. And then it got to be nausea and vomiting. And then it moved to where it was starting on Sunday afternoon. And now here it is, Friday evening, and I'm on my hands and knees in front of the toilet. And I'm going to have to cancel the kids' play date tomorrow. How am I going to tell them that? I know I'm going to be sick all weekend, and we can't do any of the things that we plan to do on my weekend off, any of the family things we plan to do together. Any Friday, I can open Twitter and see that from a number of my Facebook friends. And it's not just physicians. Nurses have it just as bad or worse. They talk about not being able to use their cell phones when they're off duty, and their 2 days off duty aren't usually weekends. They're often in the middle of the week. They can't use their cell phones at all when they're off duty because they're worried that somebody from the hospital is going to call them back. They're not on call. They're not on second call, but they're afraid to have their phones on. And it just makes them sick because that means their kids can't use their cell phones for an emergency contact situation. It's just not right. We need to take back healthcare. As physicians, we know this. We've known it for a long time. Nurses know this. And with the pandemic, it's becoming apparent to all of healthcare and most patients that the future of healthcare does not belong in the hands of businessmen. The question is how? How are we going to do this? And I have a system. I have a system that is a solution for this. One that values collaboration and teamwork. One that values you as an individual. It doesn't matter what your role is in healthcare. It really doesn't. What matters is, are you ready to give up the headaches? Are you ready to give up the nausea and vomiting? Are you ready to give up the sleepless nights? Are you ready to reclaim your family time? Would you like to put the joy back in healthcare? Would you like more information? Reach out to me. I'm Dr. Nan Nessel, and I'm here to help.